In Texas, wild hogs aren't just a nuisance, they're a real threat to farmland. One single night is enough for an entire field to be torn into a churned-up wasteland. For farmers, that's their livelihood. For us, it's a responsibility we can't ignore. Today isn't a trip for trophies. This is a legal population control mission, carried out to protect the harvest and keep the community safe. Before sunrise, the team is already posted at the edge of the field, right along the route hogs often use to slip in and out of croplands. We don't target everything in sight, only mature hogs, the ones causing the worst destruction. Cracks, fresh scat, torn up patches of vegetation, all of it forms a moving map of the herd's path. The moment the first hog steps out, our defensive wall is already in place, a barrier standing between the farmland and total devastation. As the formation moves forward, the sound of rustling leaves warns us of an uninvited visitor. A big jet-black hog steps out of the brush, alert and tense. Every action now has to be calculated: wind, angle, movement speed, and the safety zone behind the target. A clean shot isn't just about taking down the animal, it's about protecting acres of crops worth thousands of dollars, ready to be harvested. On the east side, John, the cover shooter, receives the order to move into position. Minutes later, the hog appears exactly where Thomas predicted, after tracking signs through the field. Success like this never belongs to one hunter. It's the product of tracking skill, field knowledge, and teamwork honed over years. When hogs vanish into thick cover, nothing beats the dogs. Their sharp noses pick up movement we can't see, pressuring hogs to leave their hiding spots. This isn't a simple chase, it's coordinated force, dogs and hunters working as one. Any true American hunter knows, teamwork beats chaos. A swift push, a tight formation, and we reclaim every yard the hogs tried to tear apart. As the hunt reaches its peak, the dogs keep signaling new movement. Smart hogs will often break from the group to escape, forcing us to split our own formation. Each smaller unit has its role. Cut off escape lines, pressure from the sides, block the back trail. None of this is reckless. It's a legally mandated task, protecting farmers who face the constant fear of losing everything they planted. Just when we think the field is secure, the radio flares to life. Hogs in the west field! No one lets their guard down. A cornered hog can turn deadly fast, charging at anything that stands in its way. Once they cross into cropland and start tearing into the crops, we have no choice but to act immediately. Fast, precise, controlled. It's the razor-thin line between calm and chaos, between saving the harvest and watching it disappear overnight. After a long day, what matters isn't the number of hogs taken down. What matters is that farmers can sleep peacefully, their fields protected, their losses prevented, and their communities safe. The battle against hogs in Texas isn't over, but today, we took this land back. We are standing in Florida, a tropical paradise, but also the battleground of a silent war. Behind its beauty lies a serious problem: wild boars. These animals aren't native, they're an invasive species. Each year, these wild boars cause billions of dollars in damage, destroying crops and wreaking havoc on farmland. Today's location is a swampy area with pine forests in central Florida, where reports say wild boar populations are dense, and there are even a few monsters among them. Our mission? Reduce the damage. Follow us closely. This is going to be an unforgettable hunt. We quickly set up our elevated observation blind, a tactic that gave us a commanding view and the element of surprise. Immediately, two audacious wild boars raiding our stored supplies below came into sight. I squeezed the trigger as soon as I confirmed the primary target, dropping the first boar instantly. The second one panicked and tried to flee, but it was too late to escape far. I regained my composure, took careful aim, and took it down on the spot. This double kill marked a resounding first victory for the team, giving us the momentum to carry on. We continued moving cautiously through the area, edging closer to the deep forest. Suddenly, a massive herd of wild boars appeared, numbering in the dozens. It seemed that the boar population had exploded throughout Florida. This was a golden opportunity to strike decisively. I held my breath, focused on the largest boar in the herd, and with full concentration on my rifle, I took the shot. The boar dropped instantly, sending the rest of the herd scattering in all directions. The team swiftly moved into action, shifting to single target tracking, ensuring that no threat escaped. Without delay, my teammate Kevin spotted a group of 3 wild boars in the distance. Quickly, he implemented a long-range shooting strategy, dispersing and positioning himself prone for maximum stability. He locked on to the lead boar, squeezed the trigger decisively, and took it down with precision. The shot caused the remaining boars to scatter in panic, setting us up perfectly for the next phase of our hunt. After the herd scattered, we quickly pinpointed the next target, a boar trying to hide in the brush. I reloaded my rifle, focused intently, and without wasting time, fired a clean shot. The boar fell instantly, neutralized on the spot. By the afternoon, the search became more urgent as daylight began to fade. I spotted a large boar moving in the distance. I didn't shoot right away. Instead, I silently crouched, waiting patiently for the boar to come into optimal range. When it finally stopped, I took the shot, and the boar dropped immediately. This victory proved the value of patience, even in the final moments of the hunt. As dusk fell, we began to make our way back along the trail. Unexpectedly, from the edge of the forest, through the rotting trees, a final target came into view. Without hesitation, I quickly reloaded my rifle, focused intently, and made the final shot. The last shot rang out, bringing our hunting journey to a perfect close. The final shot ended the day's hunt, sealing it with success. We carefully gathered the trophies and used specialized vehicles to transport them. Every part of the hunt and harvest was done in full compliance with U.S. wildlife laws. We left the area feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. What do you think was the most intense shot? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. On a scorching midday, the Ford F-150 Raptor slowly climbed up the dry, rugged slopes of the American West, where wild boars frequently destroy the cornfields at the base of the hills. These boars roam, trampling through fields and even attacking local homes. We couldn't just sit back, so we were well equipped with modern gear like thermal cameras, GPS, and the latest iPhone 17 Pro Max to track the boars' movements and easily control their paths. The primary goal today, like every previous hunt, was to prevent the wild boars from descending and destroying the crops, ensuring the safety of the farmers below. When we reached the hilltop, the hot wind hit our faces, signaling that a challenging day of hunting had begun. As the truck came to a stop, we immediately caught the faint scent of wild boar in the air. Sure enough, just 2 minutes later, the ground began to tremble. A small herd of boars appeared, showing signs of scouting for the cornfields. The team quickly deployed the target locking strategy. One person locked the left flank, while 2 others moved in from behind to prevent escape. As they rounded the corner, the opening shot rang out. The largest boar, with its massive frame, fell instantly. If it had made it to the cornfield, it would have been a disaster for the harvest. This kill was a great start, giving the team an energy boost for what lay ahead. After quickly securing the first kill, the team advanced deeper into the hillside. The thermal camera picked up a large herd, with nearly a dozen boars moving in a straight line. If we let this group slip past and into the fields below, the damage would be severe. So, we formed a V-shaped formation, spreading out to break up the herd and prevent them from merging into an uncontrollable mass. When they came into range, the team leader signaled to take out the smaller groups first before the entire herd could rush downhill. As the herd split up, a large adult boar darted toward the back of the hill and disappeared from sight. The team immediately split into 2 groups, one to monitor the remaining boars, and the other to track the tracks left on the dry earth. The boar ran deep into the rocky edge, but following our cornering strategy, we pushed it toward the flatland, preventing it from running back into the nearby livestock area. When it reappeared in an open area, we took the shot, ensuring that the hillside remained secure. The sun grew more intense, but a strange noise from the brush made the team halt. A lone wild boar was moving from the thicket on the hillside. The hunting dogs immediately rushed forward to maintain a safe distance, not attacking directly, but instead locking onto its movements. Thanks to their assistance, the team quickly gained higher ground, forcing the boar out of the danger zone and taking it down to ensure the safety of the farmland below. As we headed back to the truck to grab some water, a large wild boar suddenly charged directly at the team from the thick brush. Without hesitation, my team leader stepped forward, maintaining a safe distance to avoid a direct confrontation with the massive boar. In this situation, a single misfire could lead to serious injury. When the distance closed to just a couple of meters, my team leader fired, causing the boar to lose its momentum, stumble, and collapse right at his feet. What an amazing shot! Back at the hilltop for one last check, the thermal camera revealed a smaller wild boar, following the scent of food from the farms below. We didn't waste this opportunity. Signaling the team to spread out, we ensured the boar couldn't cross the trail leading down into the fields. Thanks to the higher ground, I quickly locked in on its path and took it down before it could get anywhere near the cornfields. Throughout the journey, we followed strict wildlife management regulations in the United States, with our primary objective being to protect the crops and ensure the safety of the local farmers. Despite the scorching heat and treacherous terrain, the team always prioritized safety and the law. In the Lazio region, autumn isn't just about gathering the crops, it's the season of the hunt. Hunting wild boars here isn't just a passion, it's a heritage, passed down from father to son through generations, woven into the very fabric of this land. As a son of Lazio, my team and I prepared meticulously for this hunt, not only to protect the harvest and the livelihoods of the locals, but also to carry forward the pride of countless generations before us. Get ready for an intense journey ahead. As dawn broke, we formed our positions, surrounding the fields. From our observations, the freshly harvested and empty patches were prime spots where wild boars frequently appeared. We immediately took our stations, ready to confront the challenge. There it is! That silhouette could only be a wild boar. Adjusting my scope carefully, I squeezed the trigger. The bullet whistled through the air, striking the target dead on. Soon after, more targets emerged. Each shot was precise. Bathed in the early sunlight, our hunt kicked off with power and precision, showcasing our team's skill and seamless coordination. Continuing our scan across the fields, open clearings provided ideal conditions for long-range shots. When a target appeared, I took a deep breath, aimed steady, and fired. The bullet ended the prey's desperate flight. That moment marked a testament to skill, accuracy, and responsibility out here in the fields. As the sun climbed higher, I knew the boars would start retreating to the edges of the fields, where food was still available, but away from the harsh sun. Moving forward, I picked a perfect ambush spot and waited silently. Look, that shape is charging in. Everything's set. The shot was like clockwork, clean, decisive, leaving no chance for the prey to react. We continued to scan the area, spotting lone, massive figures. Each shot hit its mark, reclaiming control over the wild landscape. From the southern part of the field came urgent news. A wild boar pack had just appeared. Nick immediately jumped into action, hopping on an off-road vehicle with teammates, speeding to the scene to stop the threat in time. Though the hogs ran fast, they couldn't outrun Nick's speed and precision, a skilled marksman known for shooting on the move. Within minutes, the threat was neutralized. Once again, our team emerged victorious in this fierce battle between field and wild instinct. While Nick's group was engaged in a fierce firefight, I kept moving, eyes glued to every sign. Suddenly, another target appeared right in my sights. The moment arrived. I pulled the trigger. The shot seemed to seal the deal, but not quite. The beast slipped beyond control. My heart clenched, a stark reminder that in the wild, nothing's guaranteed, and hesitation can mean defeat. The sun grew stronger, but fate seemed set. A wild boar pack appeared at the field's edge. This time, there was no room for error. Shots rang out, fierce, precise, rapid, like the pounding rhythm of my own heart. When the gunfire died down, only scattered boar remains lay across the field. A bold punctuation to the morning's hunt, closing it with results nothing short of perfect. After the harvest, the fields are left with nothing but bare stubble. But this is exactly where wild boars often come to forage. They dig up the earth, ruin the freshly harvested plots, leaving chaotic traces and causing great distress to the locals. This is why we decided to organize this hunting trip, to control the wild herd and protect the crops. Before setting out, the team carefully checked their guns, reloaded ammo, tested radios, and put on protective gear. Will our plan succeed? Can we take down these destructive invaders? Follow along to find out. About 20 minutes later, we arrived at today's battleground. The open field ahead was the perfect spot for wild boars to appear. The team leader quickly divided us into groups to block exits and set up an ambush. Within just 10 minutes, the ground seemed to tremble as a herd of boars ran single file across the field. The leader tracked every movement carefully, keeping his sights locked. When all factors aligned, he fired decisively. One fell immediately. Then, supportive shots rang out from blocking positions, dropping a few more. The rest of the herd fled, only to run into the traps we'd laid. Suddenly, a large boar charged straight at me. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle, steadied my aim. At just the right distance, I pulled the trigger sharply. The bullet struck the heart and lungs. The boar collapsed on the spot, ending the dangerous charge. You see, when facing a wild animal charging head-on, staying calm, estimating distance, and prioritizing safety are the keys. Right after my shot, rapid gunfire erupted from the left. A massive shadow had panicked and bolted past a nearby squad. Reacting quickly, my teammate calculated the speed and direction of the running animal to take the shot. At the precise moment it crossed the clearing, the bullet tore through the air and struck true, flipping the boar over as it struggled before finally collapsing. Nothing could outmatch these sharpshooters. A flawless kill, ending any chance of escape. At the same time, another boar burst out from the dry crops nearby, desperate to escape. My teammate reacted instantly, pulling back to gauge the trajectory. In a split second, the shot stopped the escape attempt. This quick reflex made all the difference. We switched to Plan B, spreading out to widen the search area. One group pushed deep into the forest, while another used motorcycles for faster mobility. The roaring engine startled some hidden boars, who dashed out in panic. Instantly, a target sped by, and my teammate skillfully revved the throttle, closely tailing on his bike. Ever witnessed a chase like that? He maintained control with one hand on the handlebars, the other steadying his rifle, controlling each breath as the bike roared over rough terrain. When close enough, he fired sharply. The prey dropped in panic. This isn't a skill every hunter has. You need balance and firing control to stay safe and be effective. Following the remaining tracks, we entered the final phase of the hunt. The moment was truly tense. A massive target appeared before me, its eyes sharp and defiant. The beast roared and charged straight at me. Heart pounding, I steadied myself, gripped my rifle tightly, and calculated the split second that would decide life or death. When it was just a few steps away, I fired. The thunderous shot shattered the silence. The monster faltered and collapsed at my feet, ending the final confrontation. At 4 a.m., I got a call from a familiar farmer. It's in the farm! Wild boars, creatures once hidden deep in the forest, now dare to show up right at the doorstep. They don't just wreck crops, they've grown cunning, dodging traps, avoiding dogs, and ready to attack without hesitation. We hit the road immediately, not to hunt, but to protect the community from this ever-approaching threat. Early morning, among the dew-soaked green grass, we arrive silently, eyes sharp, scanning for signs of the intruder. Freshly dug earth marks the path, clear evidence they left not long ago. Following the trail, the prey quickly reveals itself. I steady my scope. The shot rings out, a powerful opening salvo. The target goes down, fueling our confidence and fire, because a long battle still lies ahead. After a short tracking run, the trap device signals. Wild boars have arrived. We quietly move in on the ambush point and observe. Right in front of us, the prey is busy feeding, oblivious to the watchful eyes. No hesitation. I pull the trigger. The bullet leaves the barrel, ending the threat in a split second. Thanks to modern gear, we save time and energy and gain the upper hand in this tough fight against these clever, dangerous beasts. Knowing other traps might attract more boars, I signal the team to quickly spread out, check, and control these spots before the animals sense danger. Minutes later, sounds of success ring out. The operation is a blazing victory, and our haul exceeds expectations. On another front, Jenny, our only female sharpshooter, faces a tense fight. When the target appears near her ambush, she acts decisively. Her precise shot hits the prey, but it struggles deeper into the forest shadows. Seeing the shift, the whole team moves in deeper, hunting down the remaining ones. No chance for escape. Following fresh claw marks and clear rubs on tree trunks, we track the boars. Soon, shadows hiding behind dense brush reveal themselves, unable to escape our sight. Each shot, from afar to near, is accurate and final. Every squeeze of the trigger takes down a target. The area quickly falls under control, erasing the dark figures once lurking here. Just when it seemed over, we decide to push deeper into the forest, flushing out hidden threats. Knowing this beast's habits well, we're aware, behind those trees, dangers still lurk. Within minutes, one by one, targets emerge from behind trouble, all taken down cleanly without error. The forest is cleared, and the locals can return to their daily lives, free from the shadows that once haunted the country.